of thing, like, um, will people find the video?
Okay, sure.
Like, will they get the, like, people who are subscribed? Like, I'm curious to look back on this day 2 weeks from now and see if the view count went up or down. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, maybe it doesn't matter. I'm sort of curious about that. I don't know. What
Yeah.
do you think?
I had a reaction. So maybe this is enough of a test. I don't know. I looked at the another long lost episode, the last blab that we did that you just put
Popped
up.
up. Yeah.
You just popped up. The view count is pretty low. I went to change the title of it, I think today, and I don't know, like 47 views or something like that. So it's like, I don't know what that means, right? But that might mean that like not a lot of people just kind of found it on their own, hanging
Yep.
out on our channel. But again, like I don't even know how the notification mechanism works on YouTube, so
Yeah. Okay. Got it. All right. Let's tweet it
whatever.
out.
Oh, you do? Okay. I mean, I'm fine
Yeah.
testing another one. We could not tweet this one either.
I'll do it. We'll keep it going. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tweet it out. Um,
Is anyone even in? No one's viewing it even like right now.
how would they be?
They would. I mean, they would only know it if they went to our YouTube channel. I think it puts a little. If they were on our YouTube channel looking for us right now, I think it puts a little placeholder like this hangout started with Nathan and Jason.
Oh, I see. It alerts of the hangout.
Yeah, yeah, like
I don't think many
YouTube.
people watch it live anyway. I think it seems to be a lot of people come back later, huh?
Yes, yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just gonna retweet yours.
All right.
Um, okay. So yeah, here we are. We've got one view. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. How's everything going? So yeah, are you getting sleep? Or things are going okay over there?
I'm pretty worn down. I've been working a lot of late nights, and I'm not really used to that. So I'm a
Yeah.
little bit worn down, but it sort of is what it is. I can feel I'm like congested, and I can feel myself like it's going to be one of those things where I'm going to get sick 2 weeks from now, but your body kind of won't let you get sick when you need to be, and then it's like kind of holding off, and then boom, it's going to let go, and I'm going to get sick. But anyway, maybe I am getting sick because my nose is already congested. But I'm a little bit crazy here. But we typically do not pull any long, like super late days, long nights or weekends, and then once every 5 years we kind of do, and we're doing that right now. So we're all paying for it. I just posted a message to our Basecamp saying that it's important everyone gets some sleep tonight, especially that yeah, there's work to do, but sleep's more important, and get a good rest tonight. Some people are traveling in next week because we have a meetup also next week. So we're twice a year we fly everybody in from all over the world to hang out for a week, and so people are traveling. They're tired already. They're going to be sleeping in hotel rooms. It's not the most comfortable place to be. Some people love it. Not everyone does. Your bed at home is usually the comfiest. So just want everyone to get a good night's sleep and rest up, and work can wait basically for that.
Yeah. And like, and I don't disagree with it at all. Like I cherish sleep. I don't think we should be working overtime like crazy, except there's something, and like you're saying, like it's only every 3-4 years, like something like this happens or whatever. And it's good too. Like there's a really good aspect, not about like wearing yourself down, but
Yeah.
like that crunch time of like, and it's something I actually kind of missed a little bit from like the Y Combinator days, where like it was always, for 3 months there's like a crunch time. There's an ability to like bond then with your co-founder and with even some of the other people that are around you that isn't quite there when you're just kind of running a company day to day. When you're just kind of rolling out projects like normal and there's no crunch time.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think that I think it's great. I mean, it's exhausting in some ways, and you're tired, and you get frustrated. And I see people's fuses are a little bit shorter than normal, and people are a little bit less patient, and that just happens from lack of sleep. It's no different than any other situation that comes from that. But on balance, it's good. You have a really strong sense of purpose around these moments. Everyone's pulling together to do something, and it's good. It is good, but it takes a toll too. So you have to try and do your best to manage that.
Yeah.
And I'm not personally doing my best at it right now myself, but I'm planning on not working tonight past 6. The whole last week I've been working late. So try and stop at 6:30, something like that, and then just hang out with my wife and go for some walks outside and get some fresh air and have a good salad for dinner.
Good. Have a pickle juice Bloody Mary.
Pickle juice Bloody Mary. Too much salt. I don't need salt right now.
That's true.
But,
that's true. It's probably a terrible idea.
Yeah, terrible. Worst idea ever, but awesome and delicious. Anyway, so that's that.
Cool.
What's going on your side?
So we rolled out.
Oh, by the way, did I talk? Really sorry. Did I talk about the decision with naming? Did we talk about that yet?
Dude, I've been so tired. I think we did that. You're going with Basecamps, right?
Yeah, we're calling them Basecamps. Okay, I wasn't sure. We talked about that.
Yeah,
okay.
I think we did. Go ahead and do it again, though. Yeah, right. Like we.
So some people have been following along. If you've been watching the show, you know we've been sort of thinking about. We've always called Basecamp. We've always called things in Basecamp projects. And that came from our early days when we were doing project work only. That's all we were doing with Basecamp. And that's all it was built for, really, frankly. It was great for that. But the use cases have evolved over the years. We use it in a ton of different ways. And I cannot wait to share with everybody some crazy usages we have for Basecamp. Because for Basecamp 3, we just use it probably differently than anybody else. And that's our fault that other people don't know they can use it this way and encourage them to use it this way. Part of that has been, I think, because the things were always called projects. And there's a lot of things we do in Basecamp that have nothing to do with projects at all. Like, it's really our intranet. Different teams have their own projects set up, but it's not for project work. It's just for, camaraderie and sharing stuff back and forth and whatever. And those aren't projects, but it's kind of this. So anyway, so we talked about a bunch of different names: campsites, sites. And then it's like, if we went with sites or campsites, or camps, we'd have like base camps, you have campsites and campfires, like, so all these names. And so we're actually going to roll with basically what most people call them anyway, which is just base camps. People are like, put it in the base camp, make a base camp for that. Totally start a base camp for that. That should be in base camp. Like, that's what people say anyway. So moving forward, and it's awkward for us, and it will be awkward for customers who've been with us for a long, long, long time, who are so used to calling these things projects. But it's going to take some time to get over it. But a year from now, we'll be fine. In Basecamp, you make base camps. That's what you do. You sign up and you make base camps. And you make a base camp for a project, or you can make a base camp for a group. You can make a base camp for a team, or you can make a base camp for a home renovation thing. You can make a base camp for your family. You can do it for all these things. And that's really one of the really interesting things about the new version, is it's really sort of well suited for all those different things. It's also killer still for project work and client work and all that stuff, but there's more to it than that. So we want to sort of allow people to expand their minds about what's possible and not run into this mental hurdle that, hey, I'm stuck because I want to make this thing, but it's not a project. It just feels awkward to call it a project. It doesn't feel right. I'm using this wrong. Like, I heard this from a lot of people, like, I'm using it wrong. And the other thing we hear in our cancellation surveys often is like, I canceled because the product's fantastic. I just don't have any projects going on right now. And I'm like, that's not a good reason in my mind. Like, that's not a good reason to cancel. You can use Basecamp for a bunch of other things too. So anyway, that's the call we made. It's controversial internally too. I mean, not everyone's on board with it. I can tell. But I think it's worth a shot. It's one of these moments, like when you make a new product and you release something new, you have a chance to do something different in a way that you wouldn't 8 months from now. If we launched Basecamp 3 and kept calling them projects, 8 months from now, we would not say, let's call them something else. It's just like, it's too late. These are like, you have these moments where you make these calls and you give it a shot. We can always go back if we need to. But I'm going to wait a year before making any call like that at all, because I think there's a lot of inertia and sort of built up momentum around certain things, and you really need to adjust and get used to something before you can tell. So we're rolling with it. Feel good about it. I do. A good number of people do. Some people do not. So it'll be very interesting.
I think it's the right choice, at least the right choice to try.
Yeah.
But so this is, are you going to change the URLs from projects to?
Right. So
is that on your mind? Is that even a detail that's on your mind?
It is on my mind, but we're not doing it for launch. So we can figure out how to update that later, probably. In the code base, they're called projects everywhere. Like, so there's a disconnect there, and then you want to make sure the domain language is the same, but it's not. But that comes down to making a call really, really, really late in the game.
Yeah.
But we can make that change if we need to, when we need to. In the meantime, it'll still say projects up top.
Cool. Because like we've not to get too much back into the name debate again but like so inbox, our group inbox, it's out to 100% of people using Highrise right now. There's now a group inbox. I ended up going with calling it good morning, and it changes. So now there's a little tab. It'll say good morning or good afternoon or good evening. And then when you click on it, it'll say messages waiting for you, and show you like unanswered messages, kind of like a virtual personal assistant. And hopefully it feels kind of warm like that like we're helping you in lieu of a human being able to do this for you. And I like it. But yes, the URL still says inbox, and it's just it's just an artifact of how it was developed and how we talked about it internally, and it kind of drives me nuts a little bit. But I didn't want to go through the chaos of changing the URL at the moment.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I think it's extremely low priority, considering like everything else you need to do and we need to do. Extremely low priority. Awkward, a little bit strange. It's an artifact of an earlier time, like all that stuff. But it's sort of just it's not important enough. It works. It totally works, and it's fine.
Yeah. So yeah, do you want to there's always stuff that we can just keep debating on about some design stuff. You want to look at some stuff with me?
Yeah.
So like here, I'll share my screen and all right, so entire screen, share.
I see it.
All right. Enter full screen. Okay. So this is just a demo account. This is the account we use for, there's a bunch of the Office references, like Michael Scott. If you watch The Office, there's like, they work for the paper company Dr. Mifflin.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen are in here too. There's a bunch of aspects of this. This is kind of like a very layered problem we have right now. So we went to this ability to kind of thread an email now. So like in the old Highrise, you had that activity stream of reverse chronological order. So the most recent email or note you have with a contact is up at the top, and it goes in that reverse chronology. Like the earliest is at the top and the oldest is at the bottom, and it's just this constant stream of, say, activity. And you had to click on each email, like if they were all truncated a little bit. So if you really wanted to see a thread, you kind of had to like click all of them to see the details of each one. So I spent a lot of time like in technology to like build this like threaded view now. So like now when you click into an email, you're delivered very much kind of like into a Gmail looking thread. Like now the top message here in this thread is the original message.
Right.
This is, the top is just like you're looking, I think at the default kind of Gmail inbox of your thread, the top is the oldest message. And as you scroll down, there are comments and new emails, and these are all going like, they're all getting more recent. So at the bottom is the very last thing that has been said to us or to our contact. So this brings up, though, all sorts of issues. One is inconsistency with like the reverse chronological order people might be used to in other places in Highrise. Like now we're flipping it on them in this screen. We've had some people not comfortable with that flip. Though I would argue Gmail gets by with flipping people. Usually your most recent message is at the top of your inbox, but when you click into it, it switches on you to like go the other order. Twitter does this, right? Like it's an activity stream, but when you go into a conversation, it flips the conversation to go oldest to newest. Anyway, so there's that type of thing, but there's also like usability problems here. Like if I'm trying to solve a problem with Michael Scott and I scroll down here and okay, I read the whole thread and I need to like reply to him. Say I'm in customer support and I got to reply. All of a sudden, like if you look around, like there is no Chrome anymore there's no context to like, I could email Michael and then I have to scroll back up to like get back to our inbox, or if I need some of this information in the right column here, like, you know, what his name is or his title or whatever, you don't have any of that stuff. So there's this there's this like need to scroll back. And it's like, I don't know, it's like we could reverse the order of this again. It would make some of the reverse order people want that, you know, we could fix it there, and in the context of the Chrome would be back. We could try and come up with like sticky headers and sidebars that kind of like float with you as you scroll.
Yep.
It's, I don't know. I that's something we're struggling with at the moment.
Did you trying to think here. Did you ever consider I'm trying to think now. Let me switch to Gmail for a second internally here. I just want to take a look at something. I see. So
Gmail does a good job of like they that sidebar sticks, like it's always there.
It's funny because that doesn't even matter to me. What I think they do a nice job of is they basically say when I look at their product, what I see is that they prioritized the last message and the response, and they've compressed everything else.
Yeah, yep.
And the priority, like what they've decided there is that what's important is not what was said in the past. What's important is what was said recently.
Yep.
And for you to respond. So the action is you have to expand. That's the call they made. That expansion is a manual process versus an automatic process.
Right.
And I happen to think that that's a pretty good decision. I think they made a really nice choice there. So I'm just wondering if that's something would work for you guys.
Yeah, it's possible. So Gmail is taking it. So Gmail's solution, though, and I'm not maybe against this. This might be doable, but Gmail's also doing though something where it's based on the reason I believe Gmail's trying to be clever, and it compresses those earlier messages because you've read them already.
Is that right?
I think. I might be wrong, but I think like since you've already clicked into those earlier messages in your thread, whatever thread you're looking at.
Yeah, I don't think that that's true, but I don't know how to. I'm not sure how to test that.
I don't know. I could email you, or I don't know if it's even worth doing.
I don't think that's true. Oh, interesting. Hang on. Interesting. I just clicked in a different thread, and no, it doesn't. It doesn't know if you've seen. It doesn't know.
Okay, so they're all expanded. Even in a new thread, you haven't even like read yet.
Well, that I don't know for sure.
Okay,
but I'm just
like I feel like they try to be smart in that if we've been having a go-to conversation back and forth, and I've likely read those old messages, they'll compress it.
But they might then do that. I see what your point is because if someone was to send you 3 things in a row for whatever reason, and you compressed all of them, let's say there's 10 messages and someone sent 3 in a row, and you compressed all 9 and then only showed the last one, there might be 2 others that you haven't seen yet. Yeah, I can see. I don't know how Gmail makes that decision. If it makes that decision at all, I'm not sure. I can't tell the pattern, but what I do know is that in almost every case, at least in my inbox I'm looking at now, they thread them all, they compress them all down into single lines. The top one has the full line, the middle ones are like 6 more, and the last one is open, and then the reply box. Like, I think that's a pretty good pattern, personally. The reason is because beyond just hiding things, there's an affordance there. I guess you would call it an affordance. Well, it's not really. I'm not sure what it actually is called. Maybe it's not an affordance in this case, but it's saying that, like, it's visually showing you what's happened by compressing and then having that one line in the middle. It's like 3 other messages or 3 more messages. Like, they've done a really nice job customizing that design. So it's very clear that you have a lot of stuff compressed into a small space. And it's not just a lot of stuff, it's like 6 things or something like that. They just do a really nice job with that. I suspect I'm sure that was worked on considerably. I'm
Yeah.
sure dozens and dozens and dozens of variations on that.
Yeah.
So,
It's
they came to
interesting.
that, I'm sure, after a lot of thought. But what's nice about it is that if you hit a thread, you don't have to scroll. You just see it. Um, and like in this case here, it's not clear that there's anything new waiting for you, right? That you haven't seen.
Right. Right. Exactly.
What I would
And
consider doing, I mean, here's something I would consider doing. If you kept it this design, right? If you go up to the top again, in the blue bar, the right-hand side of the blue bar, you could even have like some sort of a really bright call out, like three new messages from Scott, or sorry, three new messages from Michael or something.
yeah.
You click that, anchors you down to the last thing you saw, if you guys can track that, and then
Yeah.
show that.
Yeah.
Start from there.
Yeah. Yeah. That's interesting.
Because it's kind of like, here's everything, and it's consistent, and here's how it works. We don't compress anything. It's just, here's the whole thing. But hey, by the way, there's two new things you haven't seen. And like highlight it bright yellow and like make it just so obvious. It's very similar to like in Gmail, how if someone sends you a message while you're composing one, there's a little flag at the bottom right corner, like a yellow
Yeah.
flag. That just, hey, there's something new. Do you want to see it? I think that's how I would consider approaching that.
Yeah. That's interesting. All right. Um, that is interesting. I'm also trying to debate whether or not like there's certain times when you get to this point where, and I did it with draft, where it was like I'm trying to make decisions for people. I don't love giving people just settings to change everything, and like we should have opinions, and like if you don't give people really good smart opinions, like they won't like your product. Like you can't
Yep.
expect them to like tailor every single bit of it into something that they actually do enjoy. But with draft, I kept getting such feedback like I need to change the font in this writing environment. I only like to type in Garamond or whatever. It's just like, oh my God. Okay, like I'll do that. Like I'll give you, and it sort of kind of dawned on me like people really enjoy changing the background color and the font size of their writing environment. It
Yeah.
became the feedback came back, it was so important. And I'm having trouble deciding that here. Like at what point do I cave and be like, you know what? People really do like expressing there's a desire of how they want to read email. They don't like chronological order. They don't like reverse chronological order. Like, I don't know. I'm debating whether or not that needs to be a setting.
That's kind of interesting. I would, so there's so much prior art on this, right? There's just like bazillions of people who use email, and they primarily use Gmail or Outlook, or like Apple Mail or something.
Yeah.
And
I think Mail app goes reverse, but they do. I think Mail app and Gmail are different though, by the way, too. Like I think if you look at a thread in Mail app, they go the reverse chronological order. I
I
don't know.
haven't looked at that in a while. But I mean, there's probably some patterns that you could borrow from.
Yeah.
My point is, I don't know if they allow you. I know they allow you to turn threading on or off, but I don't know if they allow you to change the order.
Right.
So it might just be like that. If 100 million people use Gmail and they all use it the same way, for the most part, I think you'd be pretty safe making a call on how someone should use this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And maybe if you just follow their leads and follow prior art, you'll be fine there.
And maybe simply threading should just be off. I mean, because that would almost solve the same thing. Like we turn threading off, and like you would just end up in the, you just use the activity streams to find all these messages, and then you'd get one email, and you'd just get all the history, and it's basically reverse chronological in the message history.
Right.
And so it kind of solves two problems a little bit if you give people the ability to turn off threading.
Right.
Anyway, I'll think about that.
Interesting. Yeah.
But we get this complaint too. I bring this up too because it's like, so if I go to latest activity here, there's another interesting that happens is like if you scroll, you get like, you kind of just have to scroll back. If you scroll and you still want to interact with HighRise, you have to go back up yourself.
Yeah, we did in Basecamp 3. That's how we started, and then we added a fixed toolbar.
Yeah.
And when you scroll out of the way, it comes down or something.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably a pretty good idea for you guys, because we only have nav at the top. You guys have nav on the top and the sides.
Yep.
You could totally fix, and you could fix You could fix the. I don't know. You could fix the nav items on the top left corner, just like the. I don't even know. I don't know what people are using a lot, right? So if people are going to recently, if they're bouncing between recently viewed a lot, maybe you could have recently viewed be sticky, you know, or are the nav links sticky or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, good evening. I see you did that. You added a
Yep.
good evening.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah, everybody's got it. So yeah.
Have you? Oh, so this is live now. It's deployed.
Yep.
Have you heard any feedback?
Yeah, positive, and I mean, so yeah, not Fridays are usually a very quiet day for us. And so yeah, we've had one person who was just kind of interested in what it was. I mean, they didn't hate it. They just didn't know, they didn't really know how it was going to fit into their workflow, and they asked if they could turn the tab off. Like the immediate reaction was like, "Oh, I don't know what this is yet. Can I turn it off?"
Yeah.
And then someone else emailed in who's been asking for it like constantly, and he immediately noticed it this morning and he's emailed back in like 10 times with more feedback. It was all good. They were hammering on it already today. So yeah, it was good. Yeah, so nothing overtly negative like, my God, get this out of here. It was just, you know, some interest of turning it off because they didn't know if they wanted to use it yet or not.
Yep. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, you're always going to have some of that, but it's good. I mean, you're live now. Remember, like all the debates and all that stuff. It's like you kind of realize at some point, just better to ship this, and it's out there now.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, yeah, like there's a million things that we still want to do and like,
yeah,
you know, add to this. And
well, I love getting your. I mean, I got the newsletter. Was it yesterday or something? Or 2 years ago? All the stuff you launched. The presents.
I didn't send it out yet in an email yet.
Why did I get
presents we launched this week? Yeah, yesterday or 2 days.
I got an email about that.
You did?
Maybe I had some test list or something.
I don't think so.
You may have blasted everybody out.
Oh, there was an email that may have hinted at presents.
Oh, okay.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I might have hinted. Maybe that was last week's email that hinted at presents. I don't know. Anyway.
Okay. Yeah, I could have my days messed up. It's totally possible.
Dude, I know. Lynette and I were like walking in a fog these days.
Yeah.
But cool. Okay, this was helpful.
Cool. All right. Well, that is it.
Yeah. Well, good luck. Get some sleep.
Thanks, yep, I'll do that. We'll catch up on Monday.
Again, and we will chat. You got time to chat still next week? Are we doing this next week?
Figure out how to do it. We'll see if we can, even 15 minutes or 10 minutes or something. Yeah,
okay.
Figure it out.
We'll selfie on a video. We'll just, oh, hey, I see you. Like, let's get together.
We got to keep it going, so we'll make it work.
All right.
Later on.